a Gaugemaster DC controller. Let's have a look at one, shall we? Roll the intros. Now, as I said in the intro, we're going to be having a look at a Gaugemaster DC controller. Now let's go down to below baseboard level and let's have a look at one, shall we? So here we are down at below baseboard level, and this is the item that we're going to be talking about. It is the Gaugemaster Combi walk-around controller. Now this controller is about £45 in UK sterling. You can get them a little bit cheaper, you can get them a bit more expensive. It also, you know, it always depends on where you go to buy the products. Now, this little controller I bought for just one reason. As you all guys know, I use DCC control on my system, but I needed a power source for my point motors because I used the Pico point motors. Now, on the front, you have the usual controls for forwards and reverse, and it is a nice switch and it clicks properly in position. There's no looseness about it. It's the usual Gaugemaster control, very similar to Tasma controllers back in the early 90s that you used to be able to get. And as soon as you apply power to the track by turning the rotary knob, the LED beside the track there starts to illuminate, and the more you increase the power, the brighter that gets. Comes with its own big, let me just show you, transformer. It's the transformer for the Gaugemaster. As you can see, it is a bit of a brute, and I have that up on my electrical block system up here. I put these plugs in myself with a dead man switch at the end, and basically the wire runs along the underneath of the baseboard up here, and then it drops down here and it drops into my Gaugemaster there. You got 4 ports on the back. You got the outside 2 for 16 to, oh, let me try and bring you up a bit, guys, sorry about that. You got 4 ports. These 2 here are 16 to 18 volts AC that go to your accessories, i.e. your Pico turnouts motors, and the other 2 are for using it for normal DC running. Now, yes, I could put myself a little programming track just up here with a rolling road on it, and I could use this to run a loco in. But as you all know, and as you've seen by some of my videos, that I usually just bring it straight back home, put a DCC chip in it, and run it on DCC straight away. But this, you know, it can be used for very easily for DCC users to run your locos in as before you put the chip in. The pros with this is it comes with this little black and red wire, but it's not very long. I mean, I've actually chopped it shorter because just up here is my CDU. And if you don't know what CDU, guys, is a capacitor discharge unit. And it's basically like 2 little batteries on a wired connection. And as soon as you turn the Gaugemaster on, it gives feed to the CDU. And then obviously it gives you a nice charge for your point motors, but I will cover that in another video. Now, with DC, like I said, it's a walk around. It's for only a single like track controller. You can get these, not the walk arounds, but you can get from Gaugemaster so many different types of controllers. I mean, their range is very, very wide. But you can get double controllers, you can get mounted controllers, you can get controllers that are already built with transformers built in. There is all sorts. But for this, I mean, as a DC operation, these are very, very good, because basically you could literally make these 2 wires for your controller as long as you wanted, and you could basically walk around a whole entire room. Obviously you'd have a cable strewn across all the floor, but they are a good little controller, and I will admit, this, I've had this about 2 years now and it's not let me down yet. But like I said, it powers my CDU. So that's the quick look at, guys, at the Gaugemaster Combi single DC controller. So there you have it, guys, the Gaugemaster Combi single track DC controller with 16 to 18 volts auxiliary port. The packaging I will show you, and as I said, it is £45 that I paid for it. That is the packaging you get. Inside the packaging, obviously you get the controller, the big chunky transformer, which I will say is a very, very good transformer, and as I said, the controller hasn't as of yet let me down. Also inside you get 2 little brochures, one that shows you like switches, LEDs, wiring that Gaugemaster also provides, and the second one is the range of DC controllers for the DC guys. And I tell you what, the range of DC controllers is outstanding. There is a DC controller out there for everyone. You know, you can get singles, you can get twin controllers, you can even get twin controllers with brake simulation. I've never used one myself, never heard anybody or seen anybody do a video on one, but it'd be interesting to find out what they are like. Would I buy one? Obviously not, because I'm a DCC guy. If I had to go out and buy another one of these, would I buy another one of these? Most definitely. For the auxiliary port, most definitely. Would I go to putting in a track for running in on DC only? Could do. But then, like I said, I am a DCC guy. I could always put a running track, a programming track in, and get a rolling roads for my DCC programming track. So in conclusion, it is a good quality controller from a company that we all know and like. They are very good if it comes to breakages. As one of the people that I speak to on YouTube and Facebook had a problem with his Gaugemaster Prodigy Advanced, which is a DCC controller. He sent it back to Gaugemaster, and Gaugemaster, free of charge, I either completely repaired it or sent him a brand spanking new part. Great thumbs up for Gaugemaster there. The customer service and repair service, even in the COVID situation, brilliant, outstanding, can't fault it. So if you've enjoyed the video, guys, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, why not join the channel? The channel is growing nicely, and you can come along with me as my monster of a railway grows. And also I also do reviews on locos, on DCC chips, and also do little reviews on DC things or trains that come in that are already DCC ready, and you see me chipping them up ready for DCC. So if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button on the right hand side, and if you want to carry on watching videos from this channel, there should be a link here and a link here. Until the next time, guys, stay safe, look after yourselves, and above all, happy modelling. Bye bye for now.